Hi, I'm Jeannie Chenette, former warden of Christ Church, and I'm really happy to be here and welcoming our new Associate Rector in a little interview to get to know her. So this is Emily Carter, and Emily, I'd like to welcome you to Poughkeepsie and to Christ Church and ask you to just tell us a little bit about how you got here.
That sounds wonderful. It's great to be here.
So, had you ever been to Poughkeepsie before you got the call?
I had. I did the Episcopal Service Corps for a year in New Haven before beginning seminary, and throughout the year we did a couple of retreats at Holy Cross Monastery, those of us in the house. And so during one of these trips on our way back, we stopped in Poughkeepsie and did the walkway over the Hudson and stopped in Dunkin' Donuts, as you do. And
Perfect.
That was my introduction to the city.
Wonderful. And from that point, when you heard that there was an opening here and you might, did you have a sense of if you might fit in, having known a little bit about the community?
Yeah, I like that it seems like there's a little bit of everything going on here. I like being in a small city that kind of feels like the experience I had in New Haven, Connecticut, where you have a lot of culture brought by college and university life, but you also have the diversity of the urban setting with beautiful nature nearby.
Lots of that.
In New Haven, we have East Rock, and here in Poughkeepsie, we have the Hudson and the Walkway.
And the Catskills and beyond, right? Yeah, we're very lucky. So, did you grow up in a small city? Where did you grow up? Can you tell us about your family?
Yeah, I grew up in a fairly small town out in Washington State.
It's a distance.
Yeah, it's a couple hours west of Seattle. And yeah, I think last time I counted there were 7 stoplights there. There are a lot of people who don't like to hear from me that this is a small town, because some towns have got just a couple hundred people, but on the smaller side. And my father was a police officer there, my mother was an accountant, and I've got a younger brother who has stayed in Washington State. He just graduated from Pacific Lutheran University and is starting a life out there.
Wow. So when did you make that change from West Coast to East Coast?
Yeah, I came this direction for college. Yeah, I went to Dartmouth, which took me to New Hampshire, and then established connections on this side of the country, and sort of felt right to continue developing a life out here.
So when you were at Dartmouth then, what did you study, and did it lead you into what you're doing now, or was it something totally different?
Yeah, I was kind of all over the place and disconnected from what I'm doing now. I went in thinking I wanted to do basically academic work in biology for a living, and I did some of that. I found government and classics interesting. I was kind of all over the map, loved learning about different things, but not sure what to do with my life. And it was kind of on the side in my extracurricular life where I was attending programs put on by the chaplaincy office. I was drawn to the interfaith community there, and through that I got connected to the Episcopal Church during my last year of college, and it felt like the right thing to be continuing to explore my own life of faith and see what work in religion could look like. So that led me to the Episcopal Service Corps.
So prior to that, your experience in the Episcopal Church was non-existent or limited?
Pretty much non-existent, yeah. I grew up evangelical, and I left that community in high school, but I continued to have an interest in faith and religion and some of the big questions people face, and so I found a way to continue engaging in that sort of community, and it
Wow.
led me here.
I know that our rector, Susan, has described a pivotal moment for herself, that where she really felt her call without, anybody else recognizing it necessarily. Did that happen to you, or was it a different process for your spiritual journey?
I would say it was a slow process of it becoming clear what my call meant practically, I guess. I remember being a fairly little kid and feeling like faith was very important, and I wanted to help people and do something with my life that would help share faith with the broader world, but I didn't know what that meant in terms of a career or in terms of even what, denomination or what setting to work in. Like, I didn't know any of that, but there was something encouraging me to help other people through religious community, and I eventually got in touch with the right people and the right communities to slowly develop the sense that it might be ministry and it might be in this denomination. And I started the ordination process while I was doing the Episcopal Service Corps, very new to the Episcopal Church, and I started it.
That was under the Diocese of
Connecticut. Yeah. I started it just thinking it feels right to start it right now. I don't know where this will lead me or what I'll learn from it, but for right now, sending in this paperwork and having this meeting to begin the process feels right. And each experience that I had in formation with colleagues at seminary or colleagues at the diocese, and then some of the field placements I had in parishes and in the hospital, each step just felt right. And yeah, I guess I trust that God is leading me somewhere. You don't always know exactly what that is until it's right in front of you.
But you're ready to embark on it if it's there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of trust, right?
I do my best.
Well, we all meet people, special people along our paths, and I'm just wondering if you've met special people who may have made a difference in your life as you did undergraduate and into divinity school and your process of becoming a priest. Who are the people in your life?
I'm thinking of the multi-faith advisor at Dartmouth who ended up discovering that she was called to ordained ministry in the Episcopal Church, actually while I had a relationship with her as the multi-faith advisor. And so because I was involved in the interfaith community, and that felt like home, and that felt comfortable and nurturing. It was sort of this person's coincidental almost involvement in the Episcopal Church that connected me to that and sent me on my journey here. And I'm also thinking of, I was sponsored for ordination by the campus ministry at Yale, because that was sort of the community doing ministry to young adults in the Episcopal Church in New Haven when I was doing the service corps there. And I would be doing sort of ministry throughout the week, and then that was a place I could come on Sunday and be with other young people and with the minister there who really cares about nurturing young adult leadership in the Episcopal Church. And he really encouraged me to enter the process and see where that might go. Those are a couple of the important mentors who have, one way or another, set me on the path toward ministry here.
Now, you have a personal life too, right?
Of course.
You met your partner in divinity school?
I did.
So tell us a little bit about your partner and your life today.
Yeah.
Together?
Yeah, my partner's name is Phoebe. We met at Divinity School, and she graduated from the school the year before I did, but she's also in the ordination process. She started the conversation with the church later than I did, so she's begun a parish internship in the Diocese of Connecticut, and we have been living in Connecticut for the past year, and I guess it feels like that's home to some extent, and I also am excited to deepen my own relationship with Poughkeepsie and do ministry here, and so we're in ongoing discernment around what that will look like in terms of how much time to spend in different places.
Sure. It means you have a bit of a commute. Maybe you should tell people how long so they know just how much you're committing to come to Poughkeepsie. Tell us about your daily routine.
Currently, it's about an hour and a half to drive here and drive back, and doing that several times a week. But I'm really lucky to be doing that. I have someone who I really love, who I'm excited to go home to in the evening, and I have really exciting opportunities for ministry and relationship in Poughkeepsie. So I guess whatever it takes to hold together the different good things happening in my life will make it work.
Sounds wonderful.